explaining. This is a very short explanation. That is what Buddothpado Aryanwahanse is here to explain very deeply about Dhamma or Buddhist philosophy. And Aryanwahanse is guide us in the right way to Nirvana. So Aryanwahanse is joining with us now. You can ask any question regarding Dhamma, or you can get any advice from Aryanwahanse if you are struggling or if you have any problem regarding Buddhist philosophy. Aryanwahanse is here to explain, here to help you. So we kindly ask you to keep mute your microphone and turn off your camera to avoid any distractions. Unmute your microphone when you wish to talk with Aryanwahanse. So, Peruvan Saranai Aryanwahanse, we would like to thank for Aryanwahanse's this kind effort to explain this Buddhist, what is the real Buddhist philosophy to this world. We worship for that Aryanwahanse. Peruvan Saranai.
Teran Saranai.
Peruvan Saranai Aryanwahanse.
Teran Saranai.
If anybody have any question, this is the time. You can ask any question from Aryanwahanse. Thank you.
Aryanwahanse, there is no question as such, but I just wanted to tell a few things today. Mainly, when I was listening to Dhamma, even in last few days, I felt that there's a long way to go. There's so much beliefs and attitudes that the whole world is having, like not within only in Sri Lanka, but outside. There's so many people believe a lot of things. People try to understand what is happening. There's so many. I was actually researching a little bit to understand what the other people in the world are thinking. And I found very interesting stuff, like a lot of countries, like there's so many countries, like about 50% of the people are not believing in God. Like if I have to name them, like some countries like Sweden, Denmark, even some countries like Vietnam and Japan, they have a lot of people, they don't believe in God. They don't believe in anything, but we can't really say they are actually not seeking. They are trying to find the truth. So when we read about it, when we hear people talking about their views, I clearly see the lack of understanding they have about how this consciousness has been created. It's such a vast area, because even the word consciousness, if you go through, one can say one meaning to that, and other person may say another meaning to that. So the way they understand even the word consciousness is really vast. So a lay person may not think too much about it, but another person who has read a lot of things may have a like a deeper idea. And when we try to tell something, we have to cater for everyone. So it's a bit difficult. And being English being our second language, it's there is always a language barrier, but we try our hard. And I felt for them, like when I was listening to some of the discussions they had, I felt for them because I can clearly see that they are actually trying to seek the truth as well. They are really keen to know what is happening. They are not actually trying to go to God or trying to um, go to Nirvana or trying to go anywhere. They're just trying to find the truth, which is very good. I think that is the way that people, the way people were when Lord Buddha was born. They were trying to find out what is happening, and then the Lord Buddha actually explained, and they were so amazed by that, and they followed him. We can do this. We just have to find our own words, find our own ways to get their attention and tell that there is something here that they should understand. A lot of areas when I was listening, I understood that there's a lot of confusion about how consciousness is arising, because they are not sure whether it is similar to mind or whether it is something else. And they call a lot of things about it like unconscious and conscious mind. So there's so many classifications that we should not even go into, because that's not our main target. We are trying to tell everyone that there is a um, path to actually end the suffering. That's our target, not to understand all English words in the world or all aspects of people's understanding. But to give that idea, we need some words as well in that case. I was thinking actually that when we talk about something that actually even in singular Zoom meetings, I have understood that we have like a great barrier in understanding that how the feeling of self is created. I think that is the main issue. The people who listen to Dhamma, they listen to that, but they don't actually try to understand how the feeling of self is arising and perception of self. I think that is the main problem there, that we don't understand how the feeling of self is arising. If we understand that magic, then the magic is no more. Then actually that barrier to the Dhamma is gone, because then we understand, okay, this is how it is made. Then what is there to care about that anymore? Why do we don't have to cling on to anything, because there's no self. But to understand how self is created, we actually can explain that very good in Sinhala, but we find it difficult in English, but still we try. I think main thing is what Aryanwahanse has been teaching us, and for all this time, it is not difficult to understand, but that it's just the way that we are not used to understand the perception of self in that way, because we didn't even suspect that there is no self in the beginning. But when Aryanwahanse was telling that in a way that's so self-confident, he was so self-confident, and that attracted our attention, because when someone is telling something so confident, we, human mind anyway, get attracted to that to see what actually that person is telling. I think that is possible in any area of this world, like not only in religions or any philosophy, anything. If someone is very confident about something, then we tend to say, oh, what is that? And that's what attracted my attention to Aryanwahanse's Dhamma. And his way of explaining Dhamma also is a bit different, because if you understand that the person is more into any science, he will explain that in a scientific way. But if he feels that the person is more into other any other thing, like even being a farmer, he will explain it in that way. So it's amazing that kind of like the ability of changing the way that you explain things. But here we are actually trying to explain without knowing anything of the person who is listening, because we are trying to tell this in English language, so that people would benefit from this. English speaking people would benefit from this. But I can only say how the way I understood what Aryanwahanse was teaching. It caught my attention because he was talking to me in scientific way, because I have studied science and I'm in that field. So it was so easy for me to understand what he was telling. So I think we have to start somewhere. So if we start somewhere like simple, how consciousness arise, I think that would be very useful, Aryanwahanse. Therun Sarne Aryanwahanse. Aryanwahanse.
Therun Sarne. That's your meaning is the non-religions. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are so many people who they don't follow any religion.